Daddy.
Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4.
That was really nice.
Counting sheep. When the kids go
We
to
were just
sleep.
talking about being
Dreams and memories. When the kids go to sleep.
You're such a snuggle bunny.
I am. Oh, you're
My little
smooth and
snuggle bunny.
soft. Your
Does
faces.
this make anybody else feel uncomfortable when I just really get over here and snuggle this little snuggle bunny?
Blake's raising his hand.
Blake, put your hand down. I'll come over and snuggle bunny you little snuggle bunny.
Snuggles.
Oh, you're such a
goodness.
snuggle bunny.
Okay,
I'm gonna get you. I love this sweater. How long
I know.
have you had that
I wore
sweater?
it because I know you love it. It's the only
She's
reason
had
I
this
still
sweater.
have it in my
Raise your hand.
closet.
Tickle, tickle. She's had this sweater for probably 8. You had that when we
I had.
words.
Yeah, you really jabbed my armpit there.
Your armpit's getting a callus because I jab it so much, so I have to really jab in there to get through that armpit callus. You guys, I love
armpit
Colette's
calluses.
armpit calluses.
It's really awkward.
So thick and beefy.
That's why I never wear tank tops, so nobody ever sees my.
Ew,
armpit
that's
calluses.
gross. Did you have that sweater before we got married?
Yes,
Dude.
when we were dating, I had this sweater.
This sweater.
Don't take it off.
Oh yeah.
No.
Come here, snuggle bunny. I'm gonna take that sweater off.
I have 3 shirts that I still have from when we were dating that you loved, so I kept them.
She can't get rid of them.
And it's funny because when Carly comes over and she looks through my closet, she's like, "Why do you still have these?"
Dude, I like the blue on your eyes.
Oh, thank you. You
That's
like that?
cool. It's like a blue line.
I tried to make it subtle.
That's great.
But
I like that blue with that sweater. I'm a fan of blue. Blue is, I would say, maybe one of my favorite colors.
Good.
I like that sweater. Anyways.
Anywho's,
welcome to the podcast, episode 101 of WTKGTS, When the Kids Go to Sleep, right here in Los Angeles, California, at Maker Studios. Yes, I nailed it.
101. Crazy. Our 100th episode, if you weren't there, you totally missed out. I don't know what you were thinking.
How'd you think it went? Do you think it went? I mean, as far as the production end of it, not our end, it went great. Like, I got to give props to Blake
It went
and
really
Roth
great.
and the whole live team. It was like, I was watching it after the podcast, and there's like all these camera angles, and they're switching to different things. It was legit, man.
Yeah, I was really, really excited to have Walk Off the Earth there. I felt like, wow, they're on our podcast. You know, it just felt like an honor.
I sincerely feel like Walk Off the Earth is about to and be everywhere. They have a song
like they are,
that's on.
like,
I mean, they're
way
right at that
already.
moment. They're not like super.
I feel like in our world, they're super huge already.
Oh yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
they're blowing up, but it's like it's cool to like be friends with them and to like have them on our show because I guarantee you in 6 months to a year they're gonna be a household name.
and they're such great people. They're so down to
Oh, yeah.
earth. 'Cause they like to
Canadians.
walk off the earth.
Canadians,
I'm
I
so
found
funny.
those Canadians, man. They are super polite and
They
just
take
cool
their
people.
shoes off. I need to learn how to take my shoes off when I
You need to
come
learn
to
how
the
to take your
house.
sweater off.
What?
I'm not a pervert, you guys. I just like to have sex with my wife.
Well, that was a little bit too far there. Thank you very much for that.
Yow, bow, chicka, wow, wow, wow.
Any
wow.
hoozles.
Hey, you want to know a funny story about?
Why did you even bring that up?
I don't know.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
I was gonna retweet the tweet of the podcast that we're live.
Anyways,
Change the subject.
and switching subjects now.
Which one
let's
are we
talk
talking about? Are we talking about the Oscars or the 100th episode?
Well,
on
I
this one?
think we're kind of talking about both.
we
at
gotta
the
talk.
moment.
Well, yeah. I don't think we'll just talk about the Oscars. Let's just talk about the Oscars.
Okay, so
We're trying to decide if we should talk about it. We already talked about our 100th episode of our podcast.
Well, okay, this is getting really awkward
Is that why?
because we didn't have what we were gonna say exactly planned. So then you brought up.
I'm like hungover from children. I had 6 kids yesterday.
Okay, so
all day long.
yesterday, which was Sunday,
Have a drink of your water.
yes, I had the opportunity to go and be on the red carpet of the Oscars. Kaylee and I did, and it was amazing. It was so cool to see all the stars. We were asked to be Dolby Theater ambassadors, which basically means we get to go
Sellout.
sit on, not a sellout.
Such a sellout.
They didn't give me anything. Well, they did give me a Kindle. It was awesome.
Is that what it is? A Kindle?
And it's like, I don't know exactly. I shouldn't say the brand because I'm not sure which brand it is.
You're a horrible brand ambassador.
I only had a second to look at it before I had to go.
It
But
looks
anyways,
cool. It looks sleek.
yeah, it's cool. Anyways, so we're ambassadors for the Dolby Theater, which is really awesome. It used to be the Kodak Theater, but they changed it to the Dolby Theater and like revamped everything, and they have brand new awesome speakers and all this stuff. But anyway, so we had that opportunity to go and see all the stars and take pictures and vlog and tweet, and it was fun. I don't think I've tweeted as much in my whole entire lifetime of having a Twitter than I did on Sunday. It was awesome. Shay, what are you doing?
I'm looking at my biceps in the blog TV chat. Yeah.
Applause? This is so weird right now.
Somebody
I'm
asked
just
me in the
gonna go.
blog TV chat if I take supplements, and I was like, oh, they're probably looking at my muscles. I better flex them. No, I don't take supplements. I'm just buff. Do I look buff, you guys?
He just flexes
Talk
all
to
the
me about
time, so
that.
people will say that.
Talk to me about my muscles. Let's hear about those. Well, I still have to go edit that
And-
vlog. There's 73 clips.
There's 73 clips.
Colette
well,
has
how do you
73
you have to like get every star at least a little bit if you can see them.
Right.
So there's a lot of clips.
It's going to be a
true.
frustrating edit for today's vlog. I'm not
And-
looking forward to it.
But I will watch all of
Blake,
the
what are you
children
doing later today?
Because you
want
watched
to
all
edit
the
a Shay Tards
children.
vlog?
Shay watched all 6 children. Kaylee's as well, because Casey's in Utah, and so he is the champion.
I need to get dad points.
you
I took
do.
6
You get an
kids
Academy
to
Award
church.
just for doing that.
Can you imagine that? 6 kids at church, all under the age of 9.
You were teaching a lesson, and
And I had to
was
teach a
giving
lesson
talk.
at church. Oh, I didn't even ask him how his talk went.
He said it went awesome.
He did,
I
of
talked
course,
to him.
because
I
I
felt
helped
bad
him
I wasn't
prepare
there
it.
to see it, but
He had to give a talk yesterday at church. But it was pretty good. I had we invented an acronym before we went into church. I had a little.
did?
Here's the secret to getting kids to behave. First,
make it fun.
don't beat them, which sometimes it helps if you strike a little fear into their minds. But it's like, instead of being in the situation when you want them to behave and you're like, listen, it's quiet, behave, be reverent. You have to talk to them beforehand. So like,
Right, you have to get 'em
we pulled up to the
pumped up.
church. I turned off the van. I said, okay, listen up. And they all like took their seatbelts off, and there's like this little congregation in the front of the van. Like they're all standing in the van. I said, we're going to go in there and you guys are going to behave. You can give God 1 hour of silence, okay?
Right.
We're not going to have any books. We're not going to have any toys. You just sit there, you shut your mouth, you fold your arms, and you look up at the speaker. 1
and
hour.
try to listen.
And that's like, I kept going, Cassim.
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 I'm not even gonna read it. I know better.
Oh,
I'm not even
bother.
gonna look down and read it.
He's definitely a pervert.
Well, you brought it up.
So I had this acronym in the van. I said, we're going to be the best behaved bench in the building. All right, guys? And I turned it into like a little contest.
Best behaved bench.
Best
in the
behaved bench in the
building.
building. And so I told him, I said, I want you guys to look around. I want you to see all those other bratty kids that are in the church. And I said, I
You're
want
so
you guys
mean.
to be motivated to
Your kids
be
aren't
the best behaved bench in the building, bros. And they did. They did a really good job. I had to give them the dad stare a couple times, and you're like, stop it. Because Brayley and Suntard were like,
Chitty chatty.
but they did great. And then it's like I got to take them to their primary and their classes, and it's like
See you later. How did Wtkgts Engage do?
they did great. They did great. They were on this side. Like it was like, I had Gage and Wtkgts, and they did good. I stole this is bad, but I stole the little Elmo doll when we were walking into church.
Oh.
So, because there's like this little lost and found area, and like little toys and stuff are left everywhere. And I saw this little
Like,
Elmo.
I just need to borrow that.
Well, yeah, Wtkgts didn't have anything, and I thought if he doesn't have anything to play
oh,
with.
you didn't bring the bag?
I
You
didn't-
gotta have
yeah.
the church bag.
I didn't bring any of that crap.
Gotta have the church bag.
Colette usually has like accoutrements.
You
that
gotta
go-
have like the diapers and the quiet.
So I saw this little
foot.
Elmo. I was like, I'm just gonna steal that. There's,
He's at church and he's stealing Elmos.
I was
This is
gonna
great.
take it back, but I didn't. Anyways, so then, Colette was at the Oscars all night. I was on Twitter. That is one of those moments where I love live tweeting with everybody
oh
in
my
the world.
goodness, it's so much fun. It's so like I get so involved that if people are tweeting not about the Oscars, I'm like, what are you
It
doing?
annoys you,
What do you even do? Where are you? Are you in outer space right now?
dude. I think Daily Grace maybe had one of the best tweets of the night.
Oh my gosh, she was hilarious.
There was, when all those sound engineers were winning, like they all had this crazy hair. And there was one dude that had like this big white hair, and she tweeted, the dog from the Neverending Story is really good at sound mixing. And I just laughed a lot. It was funny. Yep, that's what it was like. And then Colette and Kaylee, they actually went and watched, tell them where you watched the show from.
I just did.
The El Capitan. Did you tell him that?
No, I didn't. You're right. I was on the red carpet, and then afterwards, we went to the El Capitan. They had like an after party for all the bleacher seats. Not an after party, but a go Oscar party. Right. And they had like hot dogs and hamburgers and popcorn and pop and all that fun stuff. But it was kind of hard because we were like in this giant line to get into the El Capitan, and the show had already started, and I was watching the tweets and I was like, no, I'm missing it. And I was missing all the jokes. People were making jokes.
I thought it was great. I liked Seth MacFarlane. I thought
too.
He's a handsome devil. He's got a great smile. He can sing like the Dickens.
The Dickens?
He was like an old-time Hollywood crooner. Like, he was singing and dancing. I thought he did a great job. I thought it was funny.
So too.
I think there was already, like, before it started, because just of his reputation from the jokes he tells, you know, through his cartoons, through Ted and Family Guy, they're kind of juvenile in a way. You know, they're always, like, sexual-based or...
like people were nervous, like, oh no,
what's he gonna say? He's gonna just say things just to like be offensive. But I thought he did a great job. I thought it was fun.
There wasn't any times that I was really offended.
Right, I wasn't. The only one that
there was one that was borderline. The
one I
Lincoln
didn't
one.
like is the Wilkes Booth. Like I thought that was just like that's like an 8th grade joke. You know, like the only one that got into Lincoln's head was John Wilkes Booth. It's
right.
Especially, well, I guess it was more relevant because of the movie.
Because of the movie, right.
And because of, you know, the nominations. But I was just like, I don't know. I felt like there could have been something different than that. But I thought it was good. I thought he was funny. I loved the intro with, what's his name?
I missed it.
William Shatner.
I was in line.
Do you think that was live? I couldn't tell if that was like they were really communicating or if that was like a pre-recorded bit with William Shatner.
I feel like...
Did you didn't see that part?
I didn't see that one.
No, you definitely missed out.
Yeah, I totally did.
It seemed like a live thing, like they were talking back and forth. And I thought if it was live, then William Shatner did a great job. Yeah. And then the kids were just like, somebody tweeted me like, Shay, what are you... Because I was tweeting as I was watching the Oscars. And they're like, what are the kids doing right now? And they were just running through the house.
Just playing.
I was just doing the ignore the kids mode.
Well, that's the great thing about having a small apartment is it's like they can't go far.
Yeah, they're right there.
They're not going to go anywhere.
It's like every commercial I had to go and like, you know, like, what are you doing? No, clean that up. You know, because if you leave them alone for too long, they get
everything out.
Oh, they're just like, you know what we should do? We should build a giant fort in our room. And so I go in there and like every blanket and stool and chair in the house is in their room.
Though.
And I walk in, I'm like, what are you guys doing? There's like this giant 14-bedroom complex made out of blankets, pillows, chairs, and stools. And I was, you know, as a dad, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to have to clean that up later. But then Princess Tard, bless her heart, she cleaned like the whole thing up.
She's good at that, keeping her room clean.
And Zeke, man, that dog is freaking, he's like getting like...
What?
Like he like barks at you if you don't play with him.
He gets really like not jealous. I can't think of the word.
He
just
bored.
wants attention.
Yeah.
He's like, pay attention to me. When you don't, he just looks at you and goes, row, row, row,
and he'll be like on the ground and be looking at you and he starts
very
barking
vocal.
at you like, pay attention. I'm like, go away.
It's funny because Malachi wasn't that vocal and he's very vocal and he's just like, he bites everything. Like it doesn't matter what it is.
Dude,
if he's next to it, he's biting it.
We should talk about this. So we're getting like, there's certain dog lovers in the comments of our Shaytards vlogs that are hating on us because Rocktard is hitting Zeke.
Well, we're working on it. Come on. Yeah. He's 2.
We're bad parents.
Every 2-year-old
You guys haven't figured that out
he hits his
over the last 4
siblings,
years?
He hits puppies. He's just going to hit. And you have to teach him not to hit. I mean, all of our kids went through that.
He knows not to.
A hitting phase where you have to teach them over a period of time not to do it.
He'll hit Zeke and then he'll like put his hands behind his back like this. Like, I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I don't know what you're talking about. And he'll look at me as soon as he does it. But it's almost, I feel like Rocktard has to do it because Zeke is like right at the same size as him. And so he'll run up and he'll like jump on Rocktard. And if he gets on top of Rocktard and he'll like start biting him and stuff, Rocktard can't fight him off. So that's his only defense is when Zeke comes up, Rocktard gives him a good smack, like, get down, stay away from me. Mm-hmm. And then Zeke kind of knows not to, and then like, he kind of runs away. But I don't think people realize like how rough puppies are. When we went to pick rowdy. Zeke up, there was 9 Great Dane puppies in this pen, and they're just like biting each other and jumping on each other and pissing on each other. That kennel was gross. Remember when we went and picked him up?
Yeah, like, well, you got if you got 11 dogs in the
there was 9 puppies and the mom and the dad. Like we walked into the garage and the dude was like squeegeeing puppy poop and like pee out. I was like,
wasn't that bad.
It was too, don't
It
you remember?
wasn't that bad.
So if you have ever seen a litter of puppies, they beat the crap out of each other. And Wtkgt essentially is one of his little brothers. Like, they're the same age.
Well, and pretty soon he's going to be bigger than him. Like, not very far away. He will be huge.
Yeah, in 6 months,
and so
he'll
Wtkgt
dominate.
has to kind of, do something to establish dominance. And I'm not saying that he should hit him. I don't think that's good. But we're trying to teach him, how to, like, push his face away when he's biting you and tell him no. Make sure he knows the word no.
But, like, Wtkgt has to fight for himself.
He's two.
They were underneath the table yesterday, and Zeke, his teeth are sharp, and we're still trying to teach Zeke not to bite. And he, like, cornered Wtkgt underneath the table, and I was yelling at Wtkgt. I'm like, hit him! Because, like, Zeke is, like, biting him, and Wtkgt is, like, helpless. He's, like, putting his hands up, and, like, he has to fight back. And so Wtkgt's like, get away.
Poor thing.
And I'm like, puppies and babies are durable, people. Everybody freaks out because, like, you're gonna hurt him. It's like, they're gonna be fine, okay?
The thing that I
love,
A little
rowdiness isn't bad for you.
The thing that I love, though, is Wtkgt really can hold his own. Like, Baby Tard, she's just like, leave
She
me
starts-
alone.
yeah.
So she starts running and,
She'll
like,
start
he's trying to
screaming,
bite her dress, and she just hates it. But Wtkgt will tackle him.
He does.
So
He'll just
cute.
run over and, like, grab him and tackle him and put him on the floor.
He's like you. Like, he likes the playful. Like, he doesn't get mad when Zeke bites him.
Which leads
is
me
weird.
to this next topic. I was watching on Netflix. I'm really, when you, like, get a little plate of food and you want to just sit down and watch something, like the Stray Tards vlogs, check them out. Links below. And you just want to watch a movie. So I've been on Netflix the last couple nights, like, if you ever, I've been on Netflix a couple times where I'm just, like, scrolling through. I'm like, no.
I feel like we should talk about this one in the next one.
Oh, really? I want to talk about it now. Yeah,
Okay,
'cause we're going
go
to
ahead.
talk about it.
We'll just mixture it all together. I had some more stuff to tell you about the Oscars.
Okay, let's talk more about the Oscars. Oh, but I feel like, anyways.
Just keep going. I totally interrupted you. It was so rude. Keep going. Love you.
I love that sweater. Now I should have your second guessing me, bro. Okay,
I don't think it will matter. You guys just listen to both of them and you'll get a conglomerate of Oscars and puppies.
Go watch. There's 2 documentaries I want to recommend that I watched over the last 2 nights on Netflix. If you have Netflix, go check it out. One is called Holes in My Shoes. It's a life story about this guy named Jack Beers who lived to be 99 years old, basically built a majority of New York, built Radio City Music Hall.
He grew up in New York
during the Depression and has just some cool stories, just like an old dude that has some amazing stories. He was an actor in Hollywood for 20 years. Really cool movie, like a movie that makes you see and just be like, I want to live my life like that guy. I want to, like, have cool experiences. Yeah. Chasm. Sign up on Netflix, netflix.com/ChasmG for your free trial. You can help Chasm make some cash there.
It's true. It's not a
You guys,
joke.
go help make Chasm some money. Go sign up for a Netflix account, netflix.com/ChasmG.
And then go tweet Cassim that he just needs to have faith.
Go tell Chasm that he needs to say his morning
Just need to
prayers.
have faith.
Go tweet him right now. So check out that one. Really good documentary. It's called Holes in My Shoes. And then the other one that we watched last night is called
Absent.
And it's the story about men and about how more and more fathers are not in the homes, and that people are getting these scars for not having fathers. Either just having a dad that's not even there because they've left, or just kind of having a dad that's checked out, that never engages with their kids and is just kind of like, whatever, don't talk to me, leave me alone, I don't want to be part of your life. And it's an interesting documentary about, how that's hurting our society and how that's really hurting people, that, people need that fatherly love. And this one guy in it, you remember that guy's name? Oh, crap. I watched like 6 of his videos. There's this guy that wrote this book called, F word, I can't remember anything. Anyways, he talks about, like, little boys, they have this, like, desire in them to be warriors, that he says, all these parents are like, you shouldn't have guns and swords with your little boys. That's just, we shouldn't teach them to be violent. He says they'll make guns out of their graham crackers. They'll find sticks on the ground and make them make swords out of them.
It's true.
But
from a really young age.
He's just talking about, like, that's how boys are wired, to, like, fight and to have this, like, aggression in them. And it's important not to, like, suppress that, but to help mold that into something good. And you can see that in Wtkgt. You can see, like, he's just this little boy, and he loves
He's just a
sticks
ball of fire.
and guns, and he
He
just
is.
like loves to jump and be like, rah! And, like, when him and Zeke play together, you definitely see that. You see that, like, warrior mentality coming out. And then when I read in the comments, like, you should tell Wtkgt not to hit, it's like, there needs to be a little bit of that like aggression. Like it's okay to wrestle on the ground and to like, have those like moments where it's like they can like fight and stuff.
Is it Justin Hunt?
No.
Is that who? Oh, okay, that's who made
That's who made the documentary. Anyways, check it out. Both of those documentaries, really good watches if you like watching stuff. Holes in My Shoes and what was the other one? Absent on Netflix.
Super good. And it's so true. I totally agree. I mean, we just need good parents.
And that's one thing that I have realized from YouTube is just how many bad parents there are out there. How many parents are just not there for their kids or who have left or who just don't give them that attention and love that they deserve. And I'm not trying to like say like, I'm such a great dad,
right.
but it makes me want to be a better dad. It makes me like, last night I was like, I want to wake up the kids and do some dadding. I want to do some fathering right now. But just to be there for them, because it messes kids up. It really does. And if you watch this movie, it will show some alarming statistics about fatherless homes and about how it's messed up society in general, like the degradation of the family. Mm-hmm. And it was really eye-opening, man. It was really good. So check that out. And wrestle a little bit more. Beat some dogs up.
Yep. Beat some dogs up.
We love Zeke. No, Zeke is fine.
Oh my goodness, he's adorable. He's just like a wild 2-year-old, just like Rocktard is.
Last night I was reading some comments from the Shaytards vlogs, and somebody was like ridiculing us for our child upbringing, and I went to their channel, and it was a 12-year-old girl, and she's like making these vlogs, and I'm like, this girl is 12 years old, and she's like telling us how to parent. Like, we have 4 kids. We've done this before. Like, we haven't killed any of these
Well, we're working on it. We're not done yet.
Everybody's an expert, though.
Yeah, and it's not like we're perfect, but we
Colette
feel like we're doing okay. You know what I mean? It's like people have the opportunity to look into our lives and tell us like what we need to change. And sometimes, honestly, like we'll read the comments and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should do this a little differently. And, it's helpful. But most of the time, we're just like, you know what? We're okay. We're not going to stress about every little thing that we do. And if it's not perfect, because we're not perfect. But if you stress about that all the time, you're going to become a very strict parent, I feel like.
Yeah. Well,
if you obsess over everything.
The comments sometimes it's like, we've kind of set this self up for ourselves. We've put our life in a fishbowl. Right. In a sense where it's like, hey, watch our family every day. Like, we've set ourselves up for those comments.
Watch our mistakes.
You know what I mean?
Watch our non-makeup faces. And
who cares about that? I'm just talking about, like, we can't, I don't think we, that's why we don't complain. Because, like, man, sometimes, like, every vlog, it's like, I just can't read the comments anymore. So sometimes I just want to make a video saying, hey, you normal-minded people out there, let's see you guys' comments more. Because we do read a lot of the comments. And a lot of times, a majority of the comments are just people nagging at us just for, like, you should do this different. You shouldn't let that happen. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
oh, well.
I have to pee.
That's not good. You're going to have to hold it.
Remember last week when I clogged the toilet? I felt
you're going to hold it.
Stop it with the sound effects! Anyway, so that's, whenever I've talked about parenting and, like, what it takes to be a good parent, I've always said, like, the 2 things that I'm only going to focus on is, 1, making sure my kids know that I love them regardless, no matter what. If they turn out, to be astronauts, or, everybody loves to say, what are you going to do if Suntard turns out gay? It's like, I'm going to hate his guts. Like, no matter what happens, no matter what path they go down, to love them, make sure they know that we love them. And 2, just do the best we can with the knowledge that we have, and then not worry about after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
That's
just be there and really try to do the best you can. That's in that movie, Holes in Our Shoes. This Jack Beers guy, he said the one thing that his dad taught him, he said, I don't care what you do. Go watch both those movies. I promise you'll love them. He said, I don't care what you do in life, but be the best at it.
Right.
He said, if you're a sweeper, if you sweep floors for a living, I don't care what you do, be the best floor sweeper. Mm-hmm. If you shine shoes, that's fine, but just be the best at it. And that was that's kind of like the motto that he took through life. And it's cool to watch the progression of his life and what he accomplished in the years that he lived. Really lived a life and didn't have any regrets. Regret is the most regrettable thing.
So true. Because
regret is something that it sucks because it's something that you realize, like, you could have done something about it, but you just didn't.
Right.
You know, to make a change in your life.
But all you can do is move forward.
We've really bounced around a lot of
Oh
topics
my
on this
goodness,
podcast.
yes, we have.
All right. How's the
Yes.
chat? What do you guys think? Talk to us in the chat.
Yeah, do you think that we're gloating about our perfect parenting? Because we're not.
I also want your guys' Netflix. I've taken a lot of your guys' Netflix recommendations because sometimes it's just like a barrage of documentaries. Netflix has so much. And like I've started a couple documentaries. I'm like, I don't like this. So when I find a good one, I'm like, yes, this is a good one. People can be harsh. It's just human nature. I realized that probably like 3 years ago. And I've said this before, but YouTube comment section, I feel like has made me a better person.
Right.
Because
sometimes it doesn't get any worse than
I
that.
sincerely feel like I don't ever want to be critical of anybody because I, for the last 4 years, have had so much criticism on me and my family that I realize that I don't know that person. I don't know you. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what's causing you to say or feel that certain way. So I've made this, mental, decision to be like, I'm never going to like say anything or judge anything. And I try not to. Sometimes like I'll be joking around and say things, but it's human nature for some reason to like point out people's flaws when you see them. There could be a 10-minute video of happiness and like awesome things and there's just one little thing in there that you disagree with and that's the first thing you're willing to point out.
That's true.
Which is, it doesn't hurt us necessarily. Like when people are like commenting all these negative things about us on our videos, it's just like that doesn't really hurt me because we've been through this and it's like we've risen above it and it's not going to like drag us down. But what I want to tell those people that are commenting that is like that's going to hurt you to have that kind of attitude where the only thing that you comment on is the negative thing. That's going to set you up for negative space in your life. You know what I mean?
True.
Like you're going to find the negative in all things.
In everything. It won't matter how much good comes to you. You'll just pick out the things that are not going right in your life.
You'll have an amazing day and one little bad thing will happen. You'll be like, oh, my day sucked because of this one stupid little thing. And that's going to mess you up. That's going to make you unhappy in your life. There's, this term like projecting, like people project their own feelings onto other people when, what they may be saying about that other person has nothing to do with that other person, but has everything to do with the person saying what they're saying to the other person, if that is clear as mud, if that makes sense. So make that mental choice. Try to not pick out the one thing that you can see that it's wrong because people are people and people mess up. People aren't perfect. And the second that you try to find all those little things, and usually there's not. Usually it's just one little thing that you see and you're like, oh, that your shirt's on backwards and inside out. Yep. Like you find that one little thing, then that's going to set you up for that kind of, mentality where you're always looking for the negatives. And that's just not going to be good for you in the long run, people. I'm telling you what.
No, it is not. Ever. But I think we're out of time.
Yes, of course, we will be at VidCon and Playlist Live. I'm seeing that in the comments. I'm not doing the LA Marathon.
We're going to start filming next week. Your birthday's next week.
Yes, it is. I'm going to be 33 years old. People are saying, Shay, write a book. I will write a book one of these days. I just feel like I don't have enough life experience. Like, I don't know. I don't want to, like, write a book just because I have a few things that I say. Like, I want to, like, live a little bit longer, And
then write a book?
I don't know. I don't know. Writing a book.
Yes, you do.
I'm better at talking. I need to find a ghostwriter.
There's a time and a place for everything, and it's just not time for that yet. It's time for the documentary.
Maybe I'm just being lazy.
No, you're not lazy.
I could fit one more thing in my life.
No, please.
Are you playing us off? Yep. Are you playing us off the podcast?
Just
Where's
like the Jaws music? Theme.
I thought that was funny. I wanted somebody to sell sharp.
Next time when you're on the Oscars, babe.
All right.
We'll see you guys
Thanks
next
for joining
episode.
us. Episode 101. Download the link below and tweet us. And
yeah, we'll probably talk about the Oscars more because I still have more to say.
Come here, you cuddle bunny.
Oh, I love you so much.
Sweater. I could smell the fat Shay on this sweater.